There's a strange moment that happens on American highways, and once you notice it, you can't unsee it. You'll be cruising along in your perfectly fine, paid off or almost paid off car when a massive, brand new truck pulls up beside you. It's spotless. The paint gleams like it's never seen a speck of dust. The wheels look like they belong on a magazine cover. Inside, the seats are stitched leather. The dashboard glows like a spaceship, and the whole thing costs more than some people paid for their first house. And for just a split second, a quiet thought creeps in. How are they affording that? Not in a judgmental way, not with jealousy, just genuine confusion. Because you know your own numbers. You know what you make. You know what rent costs, you know what groceries cost, and you know that on paper, a vehicle like that doesn't make sense. Here's the uncomfortable part. There's a very real chance the person driving that truck makes the same amount of money you do, or less. This isn't a story about irresponsible people. It's not about bad with money stereotypes. It's about normal people living normal lives, quietly trapped inside one of the most expensive financial decisions modern society has normalized. A decision that feels harmless at first, even responsible. A decision that slowly drains future freedom in exchange for short-term comfort and social approval. And almost no one talks about it honestly, because the car payment trap doesn't look like a trap. It looks like success. The average American doesn't wake up one day and decide to destroy their finances. What they do is something far more subtle. They sign a document. They agree to a number that fits the monthly budget. They tell themselves it's fine because everyone else is doing it. And then, little by little, their financial flexibility disappears. It usually starts with a simple idea. I need reliable transportation. That idea feels logical, responsible even. Nobody wants to break down on the side of the road. Nobody wants to deal with surprise repairs. Nobody wants to feel embarrassed driving something old. So when the dealership offers something newer, safer, more comfortable, and wraps it in a monthly payment that feels manageable, the decision doesn't feel reckless. It feels grown up. But here's the part most people never stop to calculate. They're not buying a car. They're buying years of reduced options. Over the past decade, car payments in America have quietly crossed into territory that would have sounded insane not that long ago. Monthly payments that rival rent, loan terms that stretch longer than some marriages, vehicles that lose value the moment they leave the lot but carry debt for nearly a decade. And yet, millions of people sign up every month. Not because they're dumb, but because the system is designed to make the wrong decision feel reasonable. The first lever is time. Car loans used to be short. 3 years was normal. 4 years was pushing it. Today, 6-year loans are common. 7-year loans are routine. 8-year loans barely raise eyebrows. The longer the term, the smaller the monthly payment looks. And the smaller the monthly payment looks, the easier it is to say yes. A $60,000 vehicle feels impossible when the payment is $1,400 a month. But stretch that loan long enough, and suddenly it's $850. Still painful, but survivable. Still uncomfortable, but worth it. The monthly number becomes the focus, not the total cost. This is where the trap closes. Because while the payment goes down, the total amount paid explodes. Thousands of extra dollars disappear into interest. Years pass where the loan balance barely moves. And long before the debt is gone, the car is worth far less than what's owed. At that point, the vehicle stops being transportation and starts being an anchor. Negative equity is one of the least emotionally discussed financial problems in modern life. It doesn't come with collection calls or missed payments. It just quietly removes choices. You can't sell the car. You can't easily trade it in. You can't downsize without bringing cash to the table. You're locked in. And the worst part, most people don't even realize it's happening. Instead of questioning the decision, they adapt their life around it. They adjust spending. They delay other goals. They make sacrifices that feel temporary, but slowly become permanent. Vacations get postponed. Savings get paused. Retirement contributions get reduced just for now. And emergency funds never quite get built because there's always another payment due. And somehow, none of this feels like a crisis because the car is still there. It starts every morning. It looks good in the driveway. It signals stability to the outside world. This is where emotion takes over logic. Cars stopped being transportation a long time ago. They became identity. Marketing didn't just sell vehicles, it sold narratives. The hard-working provider, the successful professional, the adventurous spirit, the responsible parent. Your vehicle became a reflection of who you are, or who you want to be seen as. So when someone questions the cost, it doesn't feel like a math problem. It feels like a personal attack. Suggesting a cheaper car doesn't sound like financial advice. It sounds like saying, you don't deserve nice things. And that emotional response is incredibly powerful because once the purchase is tied to self-worth, rational thinking shuts down. People will defend a car payment with more passion than they defend their long-term financial future. They'll justify it by pointing to reliability, safety, resale value, anything except the opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is invisible. A truck is not. Every dollar sent to a car payment is a dollar that can't build flexibility, can't create options, can't reduce stress later. But because that future benefit is abstract, it loses the emotional battle to leather seats and touchscreen displays. This is how people earning solid incomes still feel broke. They're not overspending everywhere. They're overspending in one place that dominates their budget. The car becomes the gravitational center of their finances. And once that happens, the rest of life starts orbiting around it. Housing decisions get shaped by commute distance. Job decisions get shaped by the need for steady income. Risk-taking disappears. Career changes feel dangerous. Starting a business feels impossible. Even small emergencies feel overwhelming because there's no margin left. What looks like comfort on the surface becomes constraint underneath. And then there's the cycle. Very few people keep a car for the full length of an extended loan. Life changes, tastes change, needs change. So when the urge to upgrade hits, often before the debt is gone, the solution is to roll the remaining balance into a new loan. This is how people end up paying for cars they no longer own. Each trade-in resets the clock, extends the timeline, and increases the total debt. The payment stays roughly the same, so it feels harmless, but the financial hole gets deeper every time. At that point, people aren't choosing cars anymore. They're managing debt momentum. Breaking free would require writing a painful check or driving something older for a while. Both options feel emotionally unacceptable, so the cycle continues. And here's the cruel irony. The people most trapped by car payments often work harder than anyone else. They take extra shifts, they side hustle, they grind, they hustle, not to build wealth, but to sustain a lifestyle that quietly prevents it. Some even use their vehicle to earn money. Delivery apps, rideshare, weekend gigs. The car becomes both the reason they need extra income and the tool they use to earn it. It's financial irony in motion. By the time maintenance, insurance, fuel, and repairs are added, the true cost becomes staggering. But those costs don't arrive all at once. They drip in slowly, disguised as normal expenses, until one unexpected repair pushes everything onto a credit card, then another. This is how high earners end up living paycheck to paycheck, not because they lack discipline, but because one decision consumed too much future income. The most dangerous part of the car payment trap isn't the money, it's the normalization. When everyone around you is doing the same thing, it stops feeling extreme. When coworkers compare payments like badges of honor, $900 a month doesn't sound insane, it sounds normal. And when advertisements emphasize affordability instead of cost, debt starts to feel responsible. And when something becomes normal, people stop questioning it. But here's the lesson that rarely gets said out loud. Transportation should enable your life, not define it. A car is supposed to reduce friction, not increase stress. It's meant to serve you, not demand loyalty. The moment your vehicle dictates your savings rate, your career choices, and your emotional bandwidth, it has stopped being a tool and started being a liability, regardless of how new or impressive it looks. Real financial stability isn't flashy. It doesn't turn heads at stoplights. It doesn't get compliments in parking lots. It shows up as options. The option to say no, the option to leave a bad job, the option to handle emergencies without panic, the option to invest consistently, the option to breathe. Those options are built quietly, often by making choices that look boring on the surface, driving something reliable instead of impressive, buying time instead of image,
choosing flexibility over status, and that's the uncomfortable truth most people never hear.
The person in the modest car with a low payment, or no payment at all, often has more freedom than the person in the luxury vehicle. More peace, more margin, more control. Because money isn't about what you can show, it's about what you can withstand. The car payment trap doesn't ruin lives overnight. It erodes them slowly, invisibly, while convincing people they're doing fine. Until one day, years later, they realize how much future they traded away for something that now feels ordinary. And by then, the payment is still due.